What is up, guys? This is our first video of the new YouTube channel, and I am trying to replace my wife's income with thrifting. Let's get into it. So if you don't mind, if you love thrifting, business, whatever, finance, trying to be financially independent, hit that like button, subscribe. I'd greatly appreciate it. So, little backstory. It's gonna be a little long, but it'll be worth it. So, me and my wife had our first kid on November 10th. And as I'm filming this, it is January 16th. We just got home like 2 days ago from the hospital. Our little man had multiple surgeries. He had an esophagus issue, a heart issue, and he's going to need another heart procedure. And we couldn't be more ecstatic with him. He's such a cute kid, and we're so glad we have him. But financially, that's going to be a problem. And because of his heightened medical stuff, my wife's going to be out of work at least until he can get his next surgery, which might be 4 to 6 months, and maybe just a tad bit after that, because he's got a lot of care right now. He's constantly got to be looked after, and we just can't let anyone else do that. So what I've done in the past, and what I both love to do, is to thrift, garage sale, stuff like that, sell some stuff online, and I just haven't done that in a while. We've accumulated a lot of stuff, and since we were kind of in the hospital at the Ronald McDonald House, we did hit up some thrift stores because we were in a major city, and we've already started selling stuff. We picked up a few items, a lot of them probably not that good. We're a little rusty, and I'm sure we've picked up some stuff that's not great. The prices were not amazing, but anyways, I'm trying to work my way up to $1,000 a week. We'll see how that goes, but $1,000 in profit a week, that's probably going to take forever if that happens. So that would be like 52 grand in a year. I don't know. That's the goal. I don't know if we'll ever hit that, but that would be nice. Now, I've been out of work this amount of time, and I've got 2 more weeks because of FMLA. I'm going to have to go back to work. So this is going to be like a side hustle. But I also own my own clothing brand, which is Wretched clothing. And that is taking off, but I have to reinvest so much of the money back into the business that I can't funnel but so much out. It's there in case of emergency, but I can't really funnel much out because the business will kind of get stunted if I do that. So let's get into it. Let me show you a few things that I think are okay and some good buys. We've already sold some things. We've already picked up some really good stuff. We sold a little salt pistol that you shoot flies with. Picked it up for $1, sold it for $15. That's awesome. We picked up a leather jacket for $15. Thought I could sell it for a little more, being a 5X. We sold it for $40. Not bad. They paid shipping. Not bad, but felt like could have done a little better, but it was quick cash, so I'm okay with that. But let's show you some stuff that we just picked up. So let me show you one thing that we have thrifted previously, and that I'm waiting to sell, that I think is super cool. And it's these pair of Vans. They're the Stranger Things Vans. They're a size men's 7, 8.5 women. They were just too small for the wife and probably not a great size, but they're absolutely brand new. I thought they would have sold by now with Stranger Things just going off, but I guess I was wrong. Hoping to sell them soon. I will have a link in our description for our eBay store. So if there's something you see you like, you can definitely hit the comment section and maybe check out the store. Maybe there might be something you like. Definitely let me know. But these are like the one highlight of something we already have in the store that kind of thought would have sold already. We got some jackets and some pullovers and some regular shirts, but this is the coolest thing. All right, so as I'm filming this, we had to take my son to a follow-up appointment today, and there's 2 decent Goodwills right near it. So once we left, we hit up those Goodwills, and let me show you what I got today. One store, I paid $14. The other store, I paid $18. I do think the lady forgot to ring up one shirt, so we got away with a free shirt. I didn't really pay attention, but it sounded kind of low. All the pricing had changed, so I wasn't quite sure. But yeah, I think we got a free shirt, but let me show you what we got. So we have a Travis Matthews, kind of like nice golf polo. That's in a 2X. We have an IKE Bahar or Ike Bahar, not sure, kind of like long sleeve there. I don't know if it's brand new. It's still got like the collar protector in there, no tag, but it looks really nice. Did kind of go out on the limb and got this like Knox Rose kind of ladies jacket. I liked it because it was like military green with a bunch of stars on it. I thought it was pretty cool. Nice light jacket. Only paid like $4.25 for it. I think we'll do fine. We got another Travis Matthews polo here. This one is size large. We got this nice Tommy Bahama long sleeve. It feels very comfortable. I think it's a pretty good shirt. It's not bad. It is size small. I think that's gonna hurt us, but still not bad. Honestly, when I got it, I thought it was a bigger size than that. It looks like a bigger size than that. We have a Pebble Beach extra large polo. The comps on this weren't amazing, but I thought because of the color, it would probably do pretty well. We got another Travis Matthews polo. This one in extra large, pretty decent color. And we got a Callaway Golf XL polo. This one, I mainly got it because of the color, because it was kind of like a cool color, I think kind of modern. I think it'll work out pretty decent. So y'all let me know down in the comments. Each one of those items were $4.25. And one of them ended up being free, so the cost average is probably like $3.80 or $4, to be honest. I think that's pretty good. It's not terrible. I do kind of want to get into Whatnot. I think some of those items would be okay for Whatnot and just selling them quicker. We'll see what happens. We'll get these listed and see how that goes. And we are listing one other thing. Let me show you. Now, one thing me and the wife are going to be doing, and that is going around the house, finding things that we just do not need, and we're going to sell them. And all the stuff that is our personally, we're going to see it as like a zero cost because we've already got whatever use out of it that we need. So selling it will be a zero cost. And a big thing for me, not necessarily monetarily, but in volume, is Pokemon cards. So I know it's, may not think it, but probably like 10, 15 years ago, we were kind of like playing Pokemon or getting into Pokemon again. They had like an anniversary deal, and there was 2 sets that I pretty much collected almost all of it. And they're not like super expensive, but when you have probably a couple hundred cards and the average price of a cheap card is somewhere between $5 and $10, plus they pay shipping, and I already have so much shipping supplies because of my business that the shipping cost or shipping supply cost is kind of zero because I'm already going to have it. I can write it off through my other business, so I'm not super worried about that. But some cards are $30, $40, even $50. So it's going to take a lot of time, but listing on eBay is not that bad. I can work through it, and we will keep you up to date. I have a lot of cards to list. I don't know if that would be better going to Whatnot. I did sign up for Whatnot a while back and just never did it. So I had big plans and other things happened, and I just kind of stopped. I really focused on the business, and we just kind of stopped reselling because we didn't really have to, and we're kind of busy, so sourcing was pretty hard. I've got like one store in my area, and it's not a good store. There's another store one town over. It's okay, but it's out of my way. So it's kind of tough, but I think we can make things happen, and we're just going to have to. We're going to work hard, and we're going to see where this goes. So each video, I'm going to try and tell you what happens. explain to you what we have going on, and we're going to try to replace my wife's income with this. So she didn't really lose her job, but she kind of lost her income. So we're going to see what happens. Now, hopefully, after all this, she will go back to work. But there's a big gap that needs to be bridged. So we're going to try to bridge that gap. We're going to see what happens. If you have any suggestions or any tips, tricks, or anything, please comment down below. We're trying to make this happen. We're going to take y'all along for the journey and see how it goes. Hopefully, it goes well. We're going to kind of peel back the curtain and kind of shows what happens, because it's pretty much a startup. I posted a bunch of cards already, and my eBay store I think has 69 items with like a couple drafts. So not a big store at all. Very low volume. I've got a few jackets and some shirts that we've picked up that were probably bad buys, but that's okay. Or some items that are just kind of tough that would probably sell okay on Whatnot, because it's much easier to show what's going on than things. Because I got a couple vintage, I got a vintage double layer Eddie Bauer coat, and I just cannot find it on eBay, but it's really rad and kind of cool. It's probably a $40-$50 down puffer coat, but on eBay it's a little harder to really explain how cool it is. So Whatnot might be a better avenue for that. I know you usually don't get as much money on Whatnot, but I would take a 20% less. I don't know what the average is, but I would take a 20% less payout to get everything out on Whatnot than I would on eBay, but list some of the more popular and faster selling stuff on eBay. So maybe a combination of both. But I just wanted to give an introduction. That is what we're going to be doing. Going to try and release weekly videos, keep you up to date. I'll get a whiteboard out and we'll go over everything and see how things happen. But I would love for y'all to be along for the ride. Please like, subscribe, share this with somebody. And if you have any tips or tricks, comment down below. Greatly appreciate every single one of them, and we'll see what we can do.